In an industry filled with bright lights and loud declarations, sometimes the most meaningful connections are the quietest ones. Not every story begins with dramatic confessions or unforgettable headlines. Some stories unfold gently, almost unnoticed. They grow in silence, in small gestures, in the kind of presence that feels natural rather than performed. And that is exactly why the connection between Song Weilong and Zhao Jinmai has captured the attention of so many fans. Because what draws people in isn't something obvious. It's something softer, something quieter, something that feels real. There's a calm warmth in the way they exist around each other, a sense of ease that doesn't need to be explained. In a world where emotions are often amplified for the camera, their dynamic stands out for doing the opposite. It feels grounded, gentle, and built on moments that might seem small, but carry quiet meaning. Song Weilong has always been known for his reserved nature. He isn't someone who speaks loudly about what he feels. Instead, his presence speaks for him. His gestures are subtle, often easy to miss unless you're paying close attention. And somehow, those gestures become even more noticeable when Zhao Jinmai is around. There's a quiet attentiveness in the way he moves when she's nearby, a subtle awareness, a natural instinct to notice her comfort, her energy, her presence. He doesn't draw attention to these moments. There are no grand gestures, no dramatic expressions, just small, thoughtful actions that unfold quietly in the background. Zhao Jinmai, on the other hand, brings a completely different energy, bright, lively, and naturally expressive. She fills the space with warmth and openness. Her presence feels light and effortless, like sunlight filtering into a quiet room. And somehow, their differences don't clash. They balance. Where she brings brightness, he brings steadiness. Where she is expressive, he is calm. Where she moves with energy, he offers quiet grounding. Together, they create something that feels unexpectedly harmonious. During filming, behind-the-scenes moments, or casual interactions, their chemistry appears effortless. There's no visible tension, no forced closeness, just comfort, the kind that cannot easily be scripted. Sometimes it's the smallest things, a glance that lingers just a second longer, a subtle shift in body language, a quiet smile shared between conversations, moments that might seem insignificant, but somehow feel meaningful. And when the environment becomes overwhelming, when the schedule grows tiring, something subtle changes in Song Weilong's behavior. He doesn't try to stand out. He doesn't make dramatic gestures. Instead, he leans into quiet care, making sure Zhao Jinmai feels at ease, offering silent reassurance, simply staying close in a way that feels grounding. These gestures may seem small, but they carry depth, because care that is given without seeking recognition often speaks the loudest. There's something deeply meaningful about attention that exists quietly. It suggests sincerity, emotional awareness, a kind of understanding that doesn't need to be explained. And Zhao Jinmai seems to respond naturally to this quiet presence. Around him, her energy softens just slightly. Her laughter feels easier, her expressions more relaxed. It's subtle, but noticeable. Their communication, even in silence, feels significant. Sometimes, a simple glance seems enough. A small smile becomes a conversation of its own. A quiet moment turns into shared understanding. This kind of connection doesn't appear instantly. It grows gradually, slowly, naturally, and perhaps that's why it feels so genuine. In many ways, Song Weilong's actions reflect a love language rooted in presence rather than words. Instead of verbal affirmations, he expresses care through consistency, through attentiveness, through simply being there. And it's the repetition of these quiet gestures that makes them meaningful. Not once, not twice, but over time, patterns begin to form. Small moments become familiar, and what once felt subtle begins to feel quietly powerful. What makes their dynamic even more compelling is the absence of public validation. There are no exaggerated displays, no attempts to define what they are to each other. Everything remains understated, and because of that, their connection feels more authentic. In a world where affection is often loud and performative, there is something refreshing about a relationship that exists quietly. It reminds people that not all meaningful bonds need to be obvious. Sometimes, the strongest connections grow in silence. The dynamic between Song Weilong and Zhao Jinmai reflects this beautifully. It isn't defined by dramatic storytelling. It's defined by consistency, by quiet presence, by small acts that slowly build something deeper. Fans find themselves drawn to these moments because they feel relatable. They resemble real-life connections, the kind where care is shown through patience, attention, and understanding. And over time, it's not a single moment that stands out. It's the pattern. The way Song Weilong consistently notices. The way Zhao Jinmai responds with comfort. The way both seem to share a quiet understanding. Together, these small details form something that feels meaningful without needing explanation. Because sometimes love isn't loud. Sometimes it exists in the way someone pays attention, in the way they adjust without being asked, in the way they choose to stay. And perhaps that is why this story resonates so deeply. It's not about proving anything to the world. It's about the quiet ways one person shows care for another. Because in the end, love isn't only something spoken. It's something shown. So what do you think? Is this simply professionalism? Or is there something deeper behind these quiet moments? Sometimes, the most genuine feelings are the ones never spoken out loud, but revealed through consistency, care, and presence. If you felt touched by the quiet chemistry between Song Weilong and Zhao Jinmai, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who believes in silent love, and subscribe for more emotional stories like this. And tell me in the comments, do you believe actions speak louder than words?